That. Let's do that. Take two. All right. So whenever you're ready, hit it.
Hello, LA. This is Steph Green of Rage Against the Manuscript on Voom Voom Via. Come talk to me about writing on rageagainstthemanuscript.com. Rock on.
Wow. I like it. That was awesome. Very metal rock and roll. It was cool. I think Rob Halford would like that one.
I hope he'd be proud.
I think so. You have to make your metal scream. All right, I'm going to hit stop. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Are you ready to thoughtfully steer away from your revved up, frenzied, and far too often scripted life? Then welcome to Vroom Vroom Veer with Jeff Smith, where he guides you down the road differently traveled by sharing unique experiences with guests who have managed to shift away from a life stuck on cruise control and veered their way into a more authentic and fulfilling one in all sorts of interesting and kind of remarkable ways. Get ready to Vroom Vroom Veer with your differently traveled road chauffeur, Jeff Smith.
Thank you so much for being on Vroom Vroom Veer and welcome to the show. How's it going?
Awesome, Jeff. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here today. And right now I'm doing pretty good, keeping in mind with what's going on all around us.
Right. Good is relative today.
I know.
I agree. I am I'm safe and healthy. That's
so
the new thing to say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, you are at lowcalgal.com and that is LOWKCALGAL.com. Right. Okay.
Correct.
So talk a little bit about what you're most excited about in your business today.
What really excites me about my business today is the book I came out with. It's been on my mind for quite a few years. I really wanted to come out with something like a walking resource for people who had weight loss surgery and who were gaining the weight back,
Right.
So
okay.
I kept seeing, like you see people who are doing so well in the beginning because, they have this cheering squad around them, telling them, oh my God, you're doing such a great job and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then gradually disappears.
Right.
So, and then the weight starts coming back again.
Right.
And that's when I come in and I'm like, as a registered dietitian and a physician's assistant, I decided I have to do something to help
Good for you.
someone, like people
we
who have
we
issues
need a lot more of you.
Oh, thank you.
We really do.
It makes me feel so good when, they actually get back on track and start losing the weight. It makes my day.
My brother is struggling with weight issues. I'm struggling with weight issues. A lot of people are struggling with weight issues.
Especially now during the lockdown.
Yes. It's only gotten worse. But I'll say like the last time my brother, he had a scare, some sort of not quite a heart attack, but something like a heart attack. One of those things. And the doctor told him to lose 100 pounds and stop drinking.
Oh, wow.
And then just send him on his way, right?
Right. So he's like, how do I start? What do I do?
I don't even, I know he tried to not drink for a while, but what do you do with that? What do you do with lose 100 pounds? Oh, okay.
I know exactly.
I'll go do that tomorrow. Right.
Or myself.
Right.
Or,
with no support.
Exactly.
No support. It's just like, okay, go lose 100 pounds, come back and let me know when you're done.
See, that's the problem. That's what, doctors should give them resources.
Yes.
Who to approach, maybe, take care of your mental health along with exercise.
A class.
Right.
A coach. Some sort of something,
a guide, someone who can guide you along your way. That's very important, which a lot of doctors don't do today in today's day and age.
Right. No. And it's sad. So good for you. You're in the system and you're working on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's like, it's such a great feeling because I also, do support groups every week, weekly support groups during these difficult times because every complaint I hear is, oh my God, I've gained 10 pounds. I've gained 15 pounds just
Right.
sitting at home since March. So, I try to get on and I try to like stay on top of them because accountability is what they need.
Yeah. You need so much support. I mean,
Oh my God.
have you ever heard of this new app called Noom?
Yes. In fact, I mentioned about it in an article in one of the magazines. So,
Right.
it's a great app because you know why? Because it combines the psychological aspect of it also, like
Yes.
mindless eating and,
Yes.
all that stuff, which not many apps have.
Well, I just did it. So I
And
did
how
it.
do you like it?
I loved it. I'm done now.
Tell me, was there accountability? Did you feel it was
yeah.
of use to you?
Oh yeah, a lot. I mean, you have a coach and they ask you a question every week and they check in every week. And then I think right at the beginning of lockdown when I was sort of like in a panic, like everybody, right?
You
Right.
have that feeling of helplessness,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God.
So I didn't even open the app for like 4 days.
Oh, really? Even after
Right.
you paid for it?
Right. Well, and that was like, I was, winding down my time on the app. I was already kind of in maintenance mode.
Okay.
And my coach sent me a text saying, "This is your SOS. you haven't, yeah, and that's the sort of thing that those daily sort of like weekly check-ins.
You need that push. You need that push.
Just know that somebody out in the world there is with you.
And cares about you and is
Cares
thinking
about you and is going to, call you out when you don't do what you say you do.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And these things are, I used to think, geez, I don't want to pay somebody to nag me, but it actually really works.
It does work. I'm telling you, it works like 100%. It does work.
It does work because I think we're wired that way. Not even if, you're paying somebody to do it, you could just go out and you should make up this thing called nag.com, right? And you could pay anybody, right? They don't have to, all they're doing is, hey, I would like you to annoy me once a week about this. Just ask me
That's
it. That would work,
Exactly. So, you know what I do? I have my patients text me. They text me on my cell phone.
Perfect.
With their
Oh, wow. Nice.
week, just to check in. It's not a big deal. And people don't like doing that, but I don't care because I enjoy it. I'm so passionate about, like when people lose weight, it makes my day. I'm like so happy that,
Yeah, I get it. So let's, this is Vroom Vroom Veer. So that means that we have to talk about your journey. So you weren't always a PA Khan.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, you're right.
I saw a lot of PAs when I was in the Air Force.
Oh, really? So you did work? Oh my God.
Yeah, because PAs are sort of like the people that can work in the clinic. They can check you out and give you your, if you need a pill or some whatever, right?
Exactly. Take care of your.
They take care of a lot of things that, right. So I'm very familiar with the physician's assistants. So thanks.
Oh my God.
It's a tough job.
It is. Thank you. But in addition to being a PA, I'm also a registered dietitian.
Right.
So it's a combo of both that really, puts me in a separate niche.
Sure. Yeah. So you're doing like a lot of classes and you're coming up with
support, teaching people how to eat.
Right.
And it's the whole wellness thing, which I truly believe in. It's so important.
So did you start out your college career in some sort of medical field? Did you know right away?
No, actually, I grew up in India.
Okay.
And I went through school. I wanted to become a doctor, but that never happened. So I went to nutrition school, the next best thing. And I became a dietitian. And then I had an arranged marriage. And, those don't even exist in today's day and age, arranged marriages.
They still exist in India, though, right?
Yeah, at that time. This was like
at that time.
Years ago, yeah.
Okay. So
years
they're not
ago.
doing that anymore so much?
No, my kids would laugh at my face. They would be like, are you kidding me?
It does sound a little crazy, but,
exactly.
traditions are weird until they're not, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I came here to the US and I knew nothing. I didn't even know how to write out a check. I was so dependent on my husband of that time. And then it just didn't work out here. So we got divorced, which
Right.
is unheard of in my family and my culture. And
Sure.
at that time,
So
years
that was
ago.
a big deal for your family. Right.
Yes, it was a big deal.
Right.
And me as a dietitian, I didn't know what to do. I had two kids. I had no idea how to take care of them. I knew on like a dietitian salary, I would never survive. So I made this big decision of going back to school to become a PA.
Right.
So with two kids as a single mother, I worked full time and I went to school. It was tough.
That's hard.
It was
very
hard.
hard. Yes.
I was never around for them as such because I was always constantly studying.
Right.
But, I knew I had to do it for their future.
Right.
So, and my future. So somehow I managed 2 years of PA school full time. I graduated, and that was such a great accomplishment for me to,
That's huge. Yeah.
yeah,
it is.
to
It's
be
huge.
a PA.
Right.
And things started changing after that. I started because as a dietitian, I was tired of just telling people to drink Ensure Plus, nothing else. The doctors never listened to us.
Yeah.
It was that. So as a PA, I also got to take better care of them, like, all the clinical stuff, medications, labs, the stuff that a doctor does. So that really, really helped me build my confidence.
Mhm.
And, I kept moving on and on. And I really was happy. And then I went for my master's, my MBA. So I kept
Wow.
going back to school again and again. And
Right.
this book, I had always planned to write a book. And when the time came, it really, I just went for it.
Why not?
Yeah,
How
exactly.
did you like the process of writing a book? Did you enjoy it, or was it like?
Yes, I did enjoy it.
Nice.
because I did it with someone who helped guide me write a book. So there were like deadlines, because if I did not have deadlines, that draft would still be sitting on my
Sure.
shelf.
That makes sense. You need the accountability.
Exactly. And people write books all the time, but hardly anything gets published.
Right.
You have to go all the way to do it. And I managed to get it published, get a publisher, because this was something that was a big problem for people, gaining weight, something
Right.
that people were almost interested in. So the publisher went for it. And I was very, very blessed and lucky that I got picked up by a publisher.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
So thank you.
That is a huge deal too, because I've heard a lot of stories of people getting the weight loss surgery and then, not being able to, keep the weight off.
Exactly. Because
and
you know what?
Just sad because you can't go do it again.
I know, because they're doing it for a reason, so they never go back.
Right.
So during the honeymoon period, which is like a year to 18 months, they lose like more than 100 pounds. They're really gung-ho about it.
Right.
And then the maintenance phase starts, which is slowly you see the bad habits, the old habits creeping back, or there's a transfer of addictions where rather than food, which they controlled, now they start taking over with alcoholism.
Right.
Or a different transfer of addiction, like shopping, Amazon. I have a client who does Amazon shopping as a transfer of addiction.
Yeah, you're right. That's I can talk a little bit about a couple of things in that, because I had a friend who had the weight loss surgery, and I saw him probably within a year of his surgery.
Okay.
And he was telling me, he was like, the hardest part is beer. And I didn't know this, but from what he told me, he said, I can basically, how beer usually makes you full and you can't keep drinking it forever because it makes you full. It's got this like natural backstop. You can drink beer and then you're like, I'm full, right?
Right.
After this surgery, he said, I can just drink it and drink it and drink it and drink it. That's bad.
That's not good, because
I
you don't
never
know
get
when to
full.
stop.
Right. You don't know when to stop. And so he was like, that's really challenging for me because, I really love beer. And I'm like, I know. We both really love beer. Yeah.
Because, it's and then after that, when they regain the weight back, all the medications that they had got rid of comes back again, like their diabetes comes back again, and
Right.
if they suffered from sleep apnea, that comes back again. They have to start
Really?
using the CPAP again.
Wow.
So that really,
Oh, I
that's,
see what you're saying. So all these things that go away after the surgery, if they start gaining the weight back, all those bad things start
Correct.
coming back. Gotcha. Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
you see a lot of stuff.
I had
going on.
another one of my guests was a patient of the weight loss surgery, and he said he had to go in and get this. I think he called it something like a psychological sort of like
Evaluation.
evaluation. Right.
That's mandatory before you have surgery.
Right. And that's supposed to make sure I think it sounded to me like it was trying to do a couple of things, trying to get like the level of your buy-in, right?
Right. This is the thing. Bariatric surgery is done on the stomach. So we don't work with the mind. And that's the thing, because there are contraindications to people who have substance abuse.
Right.
That's why they need the psychological eval as a gatekeeper to see if they'll be approved or not for surgery, because otherwise, if we feel that they're not going to be successful, we do not
do the surgery.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Which is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a good idea. I think like what you were saying too is like that. I think the whole system should include follow-up support.
Oh my God, especially after people think that they go to their therapist once is enough. No. In fact, one of us needs therapy. You know that, right?
I
Even
do.
us.
Yes. Everybody.
All of us need therapy to a certain extent. So, having a therapist and going for follow-ups after surgery is very, very important, because, mood swings happen. You feel like you go into depression sometimes after surgery, because, you've lost your friend, you've lost your food, which was your friend before.
Right.
And you also lose a lot of friendships, because now you don't have a friend who's going out with you to eat. So you've lost that friend. You've got to make new friends. There's a lot of stuff going on. And also you see jealousy between the spouses. The husband gets very envious because the wife is getting a lot more attention now after losing all the weight. So we see a lot of divorces also.
Really?
Yep.
That's something that I never even thought of.
Yes, exactly.
But one of the things that I learned in Noom when I was doing that surprised me a lot was all the different sort of emotions that we use, that we try to either sort of like stimulate or avoid using food and or other drug like substances, like say like alcohol, right? Or beer or wine or whatever it is. So like sometimes we eat because we're trying to make ourselves feel good, right? Like a comfort kind of eating.
Absolutely. I totally agree, because alcohol, you can stay away from it because you don't need it to survive. But food, you cannot stay away from food completely. You've got to eat to survive.
Right. You have to. Yes.
That's where, it becomes a problem, because you've got to know how to eat, how much to eat. Portion sizes can be distorted, so, you've got to be like careful about things like that. For example, when you log your stuff on an app, you write a small, just write a banana, but was it a small banana or was it a big banana? Because, the calories are different, the carb content.
Of course.
So that's why it's very distorted.
It all matters too.
Yes,
that's one.
It definitely does.
Yeah, that one nice thing about Noom was it has that sort of like built-in meal logger, so it makes it really easy. So especially because I had already, before I even got to Noom, I was trying to like automate most of my meals and make them very much similar every day. Right.
Okay.
Just because it's
but that
easy.
makes it easier. Yeah.
Right. It's easy. Now I'm not saying it's crazy, but like, for the most part, I eat the same boring breakfast every day. And I'm cool with it because I really love it, right? And then my lunch is like It's like one of 4 or 5 salad kits from Trader Joe's, which are awesome.
Oh wow, Trader Joe's is amazing.
They have really good salads. Now the
Yes.
the dressing packs have way too much sugar, so you can
And sodium.
you can
You've got to watch the
you can
sodium
you can
content.
swap those out if you're feeling gutsy with something like oil and vinegar, or salsa is great. That gets
Yes.
boring too, but
It does get boring, you know.
right,
That's
you have
why
to keep
people
it mixed up.
keep it, yeah, mix it up and keep it like exciting so you look forward to your meals. It shouldn't be like blah.
Right. And it needs to taste good. That's why I went with the Trader Joe's, because they do a really good job of making those really super tasty kits. But so,
Yes,
yeah.
they make it convenient, but you just got to watch for the salt and the
And
sugar
the sugar.
content.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you've got to do.
Right.
So, you know, like even as a bariatric patient, we compare it to eating like a yogi, someone who does yoga,
Right.
you know, because you have to breathe when you're eating. You have to stay seated. You know, there are various things you have to do.
Right.
You've got to watch your portion sizes. So all these things, you know, help. There's a big connection between yoga and eating after bariatric surgery.
Be a little bit more mindful and present.
Right, that's the right word, mindfulness.
Yeah, that's a huge thing in Noom. Is like one of the they try to teach you a bunch of different techniques of, don't eat in front of the TV, right? That's sort of like
Oh my God, because you have no idea what
right.
you
Because
are.
you're just
putting
your
into
mind
mouth.
is not where your mind is in the TV. It's not in your mouth and on your food. So you're just mindlessly cramming stuff down your gullet, as we do.
And also,
right.
and also now, because of people working more from home,
Right.
you know, you're sitting in front of your computer and you have this bowl of candy right next to you.
Right.
Or, you know, you have no idea because you're mindlessly eating, and
Right.
the calories consumed, you know, you're unaware of what is being eaten. And of course, it impacts your weight loss goals.
Sure. Yeah. So like, I think the first thing I did was just when I want to eat, that's what I'm doing. That's it sounds simple, but that's it. When you eat, just eat.
Just eat, sit down and
just
eat,
sit
and
down
watch.
and eat. Yeah,
And,
and think about eating. And enjoy it.
Exactly.
Right.
Enjoy it. See everything on your plate before you eat it.
Yeah.
So
if you can go outside and sit in the backyard and look at nature while you eat, that works.
Even better. Even better. I'm telling you, if you have something like that, it's great. And also the alcohol, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
You want to be self-aware. You have to make sure you have a healthy relationship with alcohol after bariatric surgery.
Yes. Oh,
because you get drunk real fast.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that either. Okay, so you get
Exactly.
drunk real fast. Okay.
Yeah, you
so
do.
in a good, that could be good. It could be bad.
It could be bad also.
If you're smart about it, you can make it cheap.
Exactly. So that's what you're a cheap date, definitely.
That's right.
After surgery.
Yeah. The danger though is, I can handle this much alcohol. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. It's not like how it used to be for you. Things have changed.
Right.
And people don't realize that.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. The other day, just yesterday, I had a patient who we saw in the office who has regained, had lost 100 pounds, but regained 80 pounds because he told me, he said, I've become an alcoholic.
Wow.
And because all he does is drink, and the calories add up because alcohol is metabolized as fat.
Wow.
So that's the reason. So, we have to be very careful about that.
Yeah. And I think like for me, I drink mostly for a couple of different sort of like goals that, obviously I'm not thinking about them, but when I think about it later, why did I have that beer? Like, I think like one thing is, hey, it's Friday and I want to party, right? That's that kind of like, I want to party kind of drinking.
No, but it's okay. Moderation is fine.
No. I'm just saying like, these are some of the things that make me want to drink. Like why am I having this beer now? Right. But sometimes it's like, I'm really sore. Right.
Yeah.
And I think, so sometimes I'm trying to like alleviate pain. Right. So that's
So
another
it works
reason
both
why.
ways. Exactly.
Right.
People drink for on both sides of the spectrum, you know?
Right. Like
When
pain
you're happy and when
avoidance.
you're sad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just so messed up. The thing that
I'm telling you.
the thing
Because
that
remember,
the thing
even
that
when
you
the
said, like,
economy,
we all need therapy. That's true.
and even when the economy, I remember years ago when the economy was bad, recession or something we were going through, but alcoholic, like stores, liquor stores did so well.
Of course. They're doing so well now.
Now, see, look at that. Even now, that's
Of course.
their business is like booming.
Of course. They're doing more deliveries, but yes.
There you go, curbside
pickup.
pickups.
Yeah. I said one of the funniest things I saw early on in lockdown was an older lady had a sign outside her. She made a sign. It said, need beer, can't go out.
Oh my God. And then I heard that someone gave her so much, right?
Yes.
She got a
And
lot
then
of,
the next picture that a couple of days later was just
like
a
90
porch full
years
of
old.
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a 90-year-old lady, I think.
Yes. I think she's got plenty of beer now.
Oh my God, that is crazy. No, but really, I'm telling you, during this period, it is so easy to gain weight staying home and working from home.
Yeah. Well, it's because of fear, anxiety, all of those
And
things.
stress. People are not sleeping. So when they don't sleep well, their stress hormone goes up, cortisol. And when cortisol goes up, it interferes with weight loss. So that's another thing we have to be careful with, try to get as much, the adequate amount of sleep.
I see. And then, the kids are home.
Oh my God, yes.
So you're trying to teach the kids, you're trying to entertain the kids, you're trying to keep the kids safe. And oh, by the way, you might be teleworking too.
Exactly. And you want to make sure there are snacks for the kids. So when we get hungry, we go for the same snack. So we have to be aware that it has to be healthy snacking at home.
Right. Wow. Just nuts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So either way, we have to be very, very careful.
Your next book should be Pandemic Eating.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And write it really fast.
Yeah, I know. Before the pandemic is over.
That's right. You never know. You never know.
You never know. Never.
We don't know how long this is going to last. So,
No, it's true. And even for the kids also, we don't know. And even kids. In fact, my next book, I'm in the middle of writing it. It's about childhood obesity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Teenage obesity and, college going students. And, because when they're studying, all they do is snack. So we have to be so careful about what they snack on.
Well, and kids these days, their primary, like when you and I were kids, I don't know about you, but I mean, I never wanted to be in the house. Oh
my God, we were outside all the time.
Just running.
But we never had all these
video
technology.
Games. Right. Video games and Netflix.
We did crazy things like, use different stuff to play. Oh my God, it was like we were out. We used to wait to go out in the evening.
Right. And we would make up games that were silly.
Yes, exactly. It used to be so nice. Yeah.
But they all involved running around.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember this game. We used to play it in India. It's called Blind Man's Buff, where you blindfold someone and you ask them to, like try to catch you or things like that,
We never did a blindfolded game. That sounds fun,
really?
Though. Yeah.
Yeah. So we used to do it in the backyard with all the kids.
Okay.
And we used to do things like that. We used to run. We used to do jump rope. We used to do a lot of things.
We used to have a game called Kick the Can. That's like the funniest sounding game. Yeah. It just sounds like something.
Kick the can.
It's called Kick the Can, but no, there's a game to it.
Oh, okay.
So the game, the can is a coffee can, and you put it somewhere where so there was like a very like a side street right in front of the front door of the house.
Okay.
So that's where the coffee can goes.
Oh my God.
Right. And then one person is it, right? And his job is to hang out by the can. Okay. So he has two jobs. He has to protect the can from being kicked. And he also has to see people where they're hiding. Okay.
Oh, he has
Double duty. He's it.
double duty. Yeah.
Right. So whoever he sees is like, say, Tom is over there by the tree. I jump over the can and say, over the can on Tom by the tree. Right. And then I got Tom, and he has to sit on the goal. Right. He's been trapped. He's in prison. Right.
Oh.
So everybody else out there hiding, right, they have to try to free him. Right. So, and I still have to catch everybody. Right.
Oh my God.
Right. So if somebody can come and kick the can before I can jump over it, then everybody that's in prison gets set free. It's a really fun game.
That is so cool. And even we used to play hide and go seek a lot.
Yeah, hide and go seek is classic.
God, yeah.
Yes, so much
like
running.
I don't see kids doing that. I mean, you know, I guess things have changed a lot.
They're all playing Minecraft.
Exactly. Or Warcraft, or I don't know what they're playing on their video
Whatever
games.
it is that they're doing, they're not running around.
I also have a 17-year-old client who plays video games, does not listen at all. And I have been seeing him for like 6 months, does not lose weight, is not interested in anything. The mother is freaking out. But, you know, this is what happens with today's, you know.
It's hard to get buy-in. You know, if you don't want to do something, you're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that I struggle with my brother. It's like, how do you help somebody? You know, how do you open the door to suggest?
Right, because mentally they're not ready for it.
You have to want to. I mean, until somebody calls me up and says, hey, I saw you lost weight. You know, how'd you do that? You know, then I'll talk to them. But up until then, you know, it's like talking to a wall. It's like until they have a moment and they want to make the commitment.
Unfortunately, hopefully it's not something which affects their health, like a heart attack or something like that.
But even that, you know, I mean, he had something like a heart attack and he was better for a while, but I mean,
and he still doesn't. He's gone back to where
well,
he
I
was.
mean, I don't think I've seen him since, and he doesn't look a lot. You know, he's not a lot lighter, you know. He doesn't seem committed.
You've got to enjoy working out, you know.
You have to want to. You know? You have to. I think it's like, for me, it was. I think the turning point for me was when I was in Portland. I want to say like around 2009-ish or 10, something like that. I had just retired from the Air Force.
Okay.
And I was hanging out with some friends, and Portland is a great city to walk, right?
Portland, Maine, yeah.
We were downtown Portland, and nobody had cars. So it was walking and trains and buses and
love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was in a world of pain. Just trying to walk. Right. And I'm like, I'm just over 40. There's something wrong with me. I should be able to walk. Right.
More, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and that sort of was like the wake up call for me, that there's something that I need to learn that I don't know. And that it let me down this weight loss. First, I started getting into like eating better. And eventually I went to massage school. I learned all about
wow, that's awesome.
How to, you know, make muscle pain go away. Yeah.
People think massage is a luxury, but I think it's a necessity because it really helps you slow down the aging process, and it helps your body stay in tune, you know, with everything else.
I learned all about trigger point therapy. So when I hear something, when I feel pain, I go get my books. Right. And I go, okay, where do I have to push?
Oh, wow. That is amazing, Jeff. That's awesome that you do that.
Yeah. And mostly I just use it for myself. But if somebody asks, hey,
you know what?
Right. I do. Yeah. Most people don't want to hear it, though. You know, if you just tell them without solicitation, it's like putting up the hand. It's like, you're not a doctor. Get away from me.
Right. Exactly. You see that all the time. But at least you know what you're doing. You
I
know?
do.
You went to school for it. So that makes a big difference.
Okay. Well, as we wrap up, let's talk a little bit more about localgal.com and your book.
All right. So Local Gal is a company I started to help people live healthy, lose weight. And it doesn't have to be just after bariatric surgery. It can even be without going for surgery, because
Right.
as a dietitian, I think surgery is the last resort.
Definitely.
So you want to try everything you can, all right, as much as you can,
Right.
before you even think about surgery.
Right.
And my goal, I also have a podcast, Jeff, but it's not, I'm very new at podcasts. It's also called Local Gal.
Okay.
So I try to interview people who've had surgery or who are successful, like, and
Perfect.
doctors, exercise physiologists, people like that on the show. It's on iTunes and you can, on Spotify, I think.
Everywhere you can get a podcast, all podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. So, if anybody out there feels that the scale is going up instead of down,
and you're ready.
And you're ready for it, and you're ready to get people, to have a guide to help you, I'm always around. You can reach me at health@localgal.com, or I have an Instagram page, which I'm not very active, but, I hope to be. It's called Local Gal.
Perfect.
You can email me as much as you want. And I give you 24/7 support. You can always text me 24/7.
That's amazing. Look at that.
Yeah, because that's
cool. That's what you need.
what I like doing, because that's what creates change in people. Just telling them what to do, giving them a piece of paper and telling them to come back in a month is not going to cut it close at all.
No.
You need
somebody to kind of hold your hand and walk the
Correct.
journey. I agree.
Hold your hand, hold your hand through the entire journey.
Yes.
And that's because I teach you how to land yourself in the zone of long-term success.
That's perfect.
That's important, all right? Because you don't want to burn yourself out, and you cannot believe in miracles. So you want to be sustainable and stay in that area where you're going to get there, and you keep the weight off for the next 5 to 10 years or more.
Perfect.
That's basically what I enjoy doing. And it's my passion. So, I love it when I can help someone lose the weight, keep it off. And that's my goal, Jeff.
Congratulations and thank you. You're doing it. We need more Sameera Khans, I think.
Thank you so much,
We need to
Jeff,
clone
for having
you.
me on your show.
Thank you.
Thank
This has
you.
been a blast. You have a good day and stay safe, okay?
You too. Take care of yourself, Jeff.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for taking the time to ride along with us on another episode of Vroom Vroom Veer. For podcast info and show notes, be sure to head over to vvveer.com. That's VVER.com. Man, that's fun to say. And we'll catch up with you next time here on Vroom Vroom Veer.